And we're live.
We are live.
To our millions of fans. So welcome. It's our first ever episode. We're calling this Live with Cale and Rob. I know it's so creative, but we're taking over Live with Kelly and Mark. We're going to kick their butts. We're going to be way better than that. So we really don't have a name, so we're running with this for now. But welcome, everyone. We're super excited. Starting a new segment where we're going to be talking about tons of things marketing. So it could be AI, it could be sports, it could be social media, whatever it may be. So anything sort of in the topics, we're super excited to welcome everybody. And I'm Rob Capello. I'm one of the partners and director of strategy at Check Creative, and my co-host.
I'm Cale McClellan. I own In-House Consulting. We're a technology consulting company. So Rob and I work together on a bunch of different projects, and we're excited to talk AI and marketing.
And that's it. No more formal.
That's as formal as we get.
And we do have DJ Jason on the background there. You guys can. Oh, he's going to pop in here. Wait, he's trying to find.
I was going to do a quick intro for you, but you got right to the jump here. So we'll save it for next time.
I did say it would be awesome to have a band or a DJ on set, so we're gonna work through that. We're gonna get there
somewhere back here.
Yeah, we're gonna work through that. So we're gonna chat. I think we're just gonna jump in and talk all about AI today. So every show won't be about AI, but I think I know it's the hot topic.
Yeah,
everyone
for
sort of
sure.
talks about. So one of the things that I wanted to start off with is you're an AI guy. Yep. I'm assuming you're all in.
I'm all in. I mean, it's incredible how quickly it's being adopted. There's a lot of people that are still, I think, a little bit concerned or confused on what is AI, why is it coming so fast? I didn't hear about it 3 years ago, and now it's here, it's everywhere. So I'm excited about it. I think it's gonna help a lot of companies and a lot of businesses, but there's a lot to still learn and find out.
And I think there's probably people that are skeptical or negative, because mostly probably around, oh my God, is my job going to be here? Is AI going to take over my job? And the answer is, depending on what sector you're in, probably yes.
Yeah.
Like in reality, it's just, I don't know how to sugarcoat it.
Well, that's the thing, right? There's a lot of people that sit on and say, you'll be okay, maybe, but it's like, it's coming fast, and it has the ability to do what a lot of people already do. Right. So if you don't have a job that, takes a lot of, personalized skills, it's going to be hard to compete with a computer that's, trained on all the data on the internet in the world, basically.
So do you see, though, outside of jobs, do you see negative? Like any new technology, I always argue that people can use Facebook for negative, like at the interference with elections and all that sort of stuff.
For sure. I think anything, right? You can use anything in your life to be negative. And I think people will use AI as a negative thing. I think they already are. But it also has so many positives. I think AI can help us cure cancer. I think AI can help us, deliver product to people faster. I think it can help us with predictive medicine and so many other industries where our lives can be improved.
Right.
But of course, there's going to be a lot of downside. And I think there's going to be a lot of shock to people. Once we get out of this kind of pre-phase of AI, I still say we're very early, but the next 5 to 10 years, I think it's going to it's going to shock people on what it's going to be able to do.
Or the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. It's moving so fast.
It moves so fast. And I think we want to chat a little bit about before we do. I think when people think AI, a lot of people think ChatGPT.
Yep.
That's sort of what comes to mind. It was interesting. I was kind of looking at, and people that are not familiar with ChatGPT, I think most people have heard of it, but it's owned by OpenAI, partnership with Microsoft. It's already valued at $80 billion. Like, how long has it been exist? And they're trying to raise, I triple checked this, $7 trillion for development.
Yeah. And the crazy thing about it is I think they can, and we can talk about how quickly it's grown. I think we'll get into that, but it's taken the world by storm. They've grown faster than any technology company we've ever seen in history.
So I think we have that. DJ Jason will bring it up there. We need a better name for DJ.
There
Jason.
You go. Yeah.
We'll come up with something.
DJJ.
Yeah, that's right. DJJ. Yeah. So you can see this is what you're looking at is how fast it took to get 1 million users. And you say when you saw this, you're like, Threads cheated.
Yeah, I mean, Threads kind of linked it back to that Instagram number you see in 2010 because they really fed it to all of their users. But ChatGPT, 5 days to get 1 million active users.
That's
5
crazy.
days. I mean, the iPhone, for example, took 74 days when they came out worldwide. 5 days. And I think that it comes down to how user friendly and easy it is to get your emails written and figure out what what's going on in the world. You just ask it and it tells you instantly.
Do you think it's replacing? No, I'm curious. I was actually thinking about this. You think it will replace, and I've seen some data, it's not there yet, but will it replace like a Google search? Will you be going to your AI and typing in Google search, or, I know Google's pretty heavy into AI as well, but is that kind of where you think it's going to end up?
I mean, I think it's going to get back into the voice. Like, I think voice is going to come further as well. I mean, voice is already trained as an AI model, but I think that we'll be able to ask. We might even be able to have AI listen and, know what's coming or know what we're thinking or give us an answer to something when we're struggling to keep us more productive. So not necessarily that OpenAI or ChatGPT will take over Google because it's basically trained on Google. Right. But it will, I think, searching the internet and finding information is going to become a lot easier and a lot faster as we move into, the big boom of AI.
Right. It's interesting, actually, just thinking about how fast AI, and to me, it's like there's milestones in the world of marketing. I'll say, like for me, iPhone was sort of in my generation of like getting into the world. Like iPhone changed everything. It's your radio, it's your TV, it's your alarm clock, it's whatever it is. So you're thinking nothing's ever going to happen again to that level. Yeah. The pandemic happened, that changed marketing and sort of consumption forever. And then AI has been around for a long time, but not at the level it is here. Like this is like really changes like everything.
Yeah, and I think what ChatGPT has been able to do is it's been able to create an easy to use user interface for you to feel the power of AI. And I think that AI has been here for a long time. People just haven't understood an easy user facing, ask it anything and it'll spit it out like that. And make it sound however you want it to sound. And that's the power of a customer or a user-facing platform that's so versatile and so easy to use.
We get asked, actually, it's interesting, I would love your opinion on this. I don't know if you and I have ever talked about this. It's like, if we use AI to write like blog posts or content for websites, and do you get punished? Like, that's what we get asked a lot from clients. Do you get punished if we do that? Because then they're kind of like, oh, we don't want it because Google's not going to rank the way if you write it by human. Is that true, or is that just a myth?
It is true. I mean, I think SEO now has the capability to understand, wait, you didn't actually write that, right? And so it's moving so fast that companies are having to speed up to say, wait, hold on a second. This was not written by you. This was written by an AI generated story that you're boosting to get clicks, right? So your SEO and the way that you're ranked in Google will actually hurt. But at the same time, I believe that Google's training their AI bots to find those others, right? So
it's a catch-22 because even with Google in general, if you're searching now, they say they're trying to keep people, they're not pushing as much traffic to the website, but then that's how they make money. It's by clicking on an ad and driving it to the website. So it's a little bit of both on there. But I see the things like AI is more than just, like ChatGPT, obviously, and there's a text to video that's coming soon with like a Sora that's blows my mind what I'm seeing, like literally Hollywood quality video by texting something or saying something to it. Music, like is big. But what are some of the other things that you're seeing maybe from an AI perspective, like where it's going, like where it's heading? Because we're talking marketing, but it's way bigger than just marketing, right? Like there's a whole bunch of other things that we're going to be seeing.
Right. And I think that to your point, right? Like AI it's moving so fast that there's probably things that we don't even know about that are happening behind the scenes. But I look at, the future of self-driving vehicles. Like Elon Musk has really touched that space. But where AI is moving, like what does that happen? How does transportation change? How does airport security change at some level? How does advanced logistics and delivery for Amazon change? Do drones become a factor now where AI can fly you things within hours?
That's crazy.
These are the things outside of, hey, write my school essay or answer this question that the technology has the capability to do. And I mean, that's just one thing. Predictive medicine, I think, is going to be very used. So predictive and personalized, how do we treat your symptoms? And I'm by no means a doctor. With technology and the other capabilities that it's going to have to know exactly what you need and when you need it.
I actually have, you brought up school, and I find it interesting because, having kids in school, it frustrates the heck out of me where they ban it all in schools. And I'm like, the flip side for me is that these kids are going to graduate, and they're going to come into an environment where AI is, it doesn't matter what you do, medicine or marketing, AI is going to be part of your world. But you're not getting taught how to use it properly, because they're like, no, we need to teach the way we've been teaching for 100 years. And and I'm like, I'm so against that, because it's like, why aren't we teaching the kids what's happening in the real world, right? Because that's what it is.
Well, look back at the companies and education providers that said that the internet boom wasn't going to be what it was.
Yeah,
they got squashed. It's the internet's not going to be what the internet is. No, and it was. But same thing with AI, right? AI isn't going to be this thing. You still have people out there that are like, oh, it's not going to be what they say it is, and I truly believe it will be. I just watched a video on Mark Cuban the other day. He was like, if you don't double down on this, you're going to get squashed. It's coming, and it's not going to stop. And so it's like, how do kids and students and educators use it in the right way? How do brands use it? How do businesses use it? I mean,
I think you see it, though, it's integrated, and people don't even weather network app. There's an AI function at the top now. MailChimp has AI integrated into it. They're all integrating AI capabilities into all of these. Your day-to-day things that you're doing is now has AI in it. That's the simplest form. But looking at, I think I was telling you yesterday, day before, where I was watch a video where you can be a coffee shop owner, and you walk up to the till, and it recognizes your face and says, you're a male that's 50 years old. Okay, I'm not 50, I'm a little bit older, but 50 years old. And he would a propensity to drink Americanos. So that it actually the menu shows Americanos on sale or something. It's getting to that level, which blows my mind.
Well, and it's predictive, right? So then it starts to know what different types of product and things that they need to have in stock, right, to sell, right? We know we have this demographic, so we can predict we're going to sell this product. And so now our margins get better because our technology is better to predict that we're going to have 23 Robs come in and order Americanos.
Yeah, interesting.
And so it's awesome. I think AI is great, but understanding where we're at with it and the uncertainties are definitely a little bit scary.
Well, what scares me, though, the flip side of that, and I'm just going to say it, is that it's right now it's being debated in government, but we have 80-year-old white males that are making decisions on AI, and they don't even know what it is. To me, that's scary as well. Are they going to set the course of what we can and can't do with AI when they don't even know how to turn on their phones? You know what I mean? To me, there needs to be a balance, and that's probably, above my pay grade, but there's a frustration even, I don't know if you saw the local government the federal government put, I don't know, $2 billion to help AI. But where's the money going? How are you helping businesses? Because I actually think there's opportunity to work with, even if you're a small 2-3 man person shop.
For sure.
AI can help you.
Yes.
Doesn't always be the big companies, right?
Right. And to flip that, I wish I had the answer to that. It's even what you guys have seen in marketing with the government and the mandates that they've put in that have hurt businesses. And
really? Have they? Has there been any government?
Don't post your news on social media.
Yeah, that's right.
It's going to need government intervention, unfortunately, because I think it has the ability to wipe out industries if it doesn't. I think we're going to eventually get to a point where you can have 3 AI bots to 1 human, or you can have 2 AI bots to 2 humans. There's going to have to be some balance in there. But I agree, when government starts to intervene and they don't understand what it is, and I don't think a lot of us understand what it is.
No, for sure.
I'm not an AI expert. I understand where AI is at, but you don't know what's working behind the scenes. And every single day there's new things coming out. And so it's really, I think it's going to be hard for government to understand what they have to do in order to make it fair and obviously save Canadian, U.S. jobs, right? World jobs.
Yeah. Well, but that's where I think there's a disconnect for me, is because they look at, I don't know, big corporations lay off people all the time.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they're replacing it they're outsourcing it to overseas, whatever it may be, right? And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Sometimes as a business, you got to do what you got to do to survive, right? But for efficiency, but AI to me can fill some of those roles. That's just fact of life. So I think when there's disruption in society, the world doesn't end. You find human resources to do other things.
Right.
Like I look at it, well, if I can do what I'm good at, and AI can help me do what I'm not so good at, or low, like, I'm not a details guy. What can help me on that stuff, I can be more efficient with my clients.
Right. And where it gets scary is when it can also get to the point where it can speak with your clients and it can send those follow-up emails and it can predict what type of marketing that client needs and implement it on the fly. And, even in software development, I see it all the time. There's companies now in India, in the US, and Europe that are working to automate software development. Right. So I want these features. I want it to work like this. Push a button. Do it. Right. Yeah. And like, boom. Like, what does that do to...
So you have no job pretty soon.
Yeah. I'm like, if anyone out there wants to hire me, again, I don't think it's going to get to that point, right. But I do think that's a fear in a lot of people. So they say, I don't want to touch it because, that's bad. It's going to take over. And it's like, no, how do we use this as an opportunity? Right. The internet boom, it took a lot of jobs away, but it also, look where we're at now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I think moving on to sort of building up on that, I was curious looking at some latest news on what's going on in AI. And one of the ones that came up, and this is totally out of order, but you were talking about how it can create, like Google is now helping clients. And I want to curious on your thoughts on this stuff. So Google's helping clients produce ads. So it will create ads dynamically. Yeah. It will update the ads dynamically. Yeah. You'll take text and create video dynamically and voice it dynamically, and this is all in real time. It knows what you're clicking on in your ad. So you and I could get an ad from Coca-Cola, but it'll be completely different because it knows what our experience is and what we want to see, or the type of flavor we want, or the type of tone we want. It dynamically will do that, and they're testing it right now with some large corporations. Like, crazy. It's
nuts. And like you as a marketer, I might turn that question back on you, but it's like you try to do that all day, right? It's like predict
for sure
who's our target audience, who do we market this to, who do they see and how and do they interact with that ad. Well, with the analytics that Google has, right, and the AI capabilities there is now to reach a whole vast amount of people, you might have 500 ads targeted to 500 different people with the same product. Yeah. And I think that's what we talked about this right when social media started. You would post an ad and just have it go out to everybody. And hope it would stick. Yeah. And now it's like, hey, we can automate 5,000 ads of the same product and reach all these different demographics of people. And I think that's going to be powerful for marketing.
Well, and I'm excited about it. Like if I flip it to me, I'm excited about it because I feel like when I started back in the marketing world, in JJ, whatever, would
way
be
back
too.
when,
way back, then.
way back.
But we bought radio, TV, billboard, or newspaper. Yeah, those really were our options, right? And then you put it out there, and it's the same ad for everybody, and you hope it works. Like literally, right? Where someone will pick up the newspaper or listen to your radio, you're gonna have different demographics, right? So nowadays, you can have that one-on-one discussion with people, and I'm excited. From my perspective, I'm super excited about that. I mean, maybe legacy media is not loving it, but things change, right? Like I think that's the nature of what's happening. So I think what Google's doing, I'm all in. Like I want ads that I'm interested in.
For sure.
I don't want an ad I'm not interested in. So I'm okay. I don't get offended by that. Right?
And there's nothing worse, right, than when you're sitting there and you're like, this is not for me. I would never buy this. Right. Why am I seeing this?
Right.
That's where we can get personalized experiences. And I think that will improve our lives, right? We will see product that we don't know about that we want. Yeah. And that's the cool thing about marketing.
In efficiency, you're not wasting $1 for a client to click.
Right.
Because if you're not a client, I don't want you to click on the ad.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So, and I think that'll be interesting to see how the social media platforms handle that.
Right.
Because they love boosting
ads. Click.
Right. So like now it's like, how did they still get that volume?
Yeah.
But with those personalized ads, it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out.
Are you thinking that Zuckerberg's going to be out a few $1 billion?
I think he'll be okay. Is that
what you're scared about? Yeah, I think he'll be okay. That's right. Yeah, I think he'll be okay. Another thing I kind of was saying, and we'd love to chat about is in Texas.
Yeah.
I read they're replacing human exam graders with AIs, and they're expected in the first year save $20 million per year. But that's the world we live in.
It's
right?
interesting because we talked about school earlier in education. It's like, okay, so not on the student side, but the teacher side loves it. They want it. They don't want to have to grade the test.
Nope.
I remember, I'm sure everyone that's listening, Scantrons. You remember filling out, you would bubble in, and the teacher would have to go throw them through the machine. You know, those days are going to be over too. Mm-hmm. I think there's going to be the ability to scan a test and grade it.
That's crazy. Yeah. And I think that's, to me, I think the power of where they can replace tasks and spend more time, but the money savings, like we're not talking a few $100s. Like this is just one area that could save that kind of, and this is happening. Like when I'm saying this isn't stuff like they're thinking about, this is actually happening today, right?
Yeah.
So
I was reading an article the other day about how much money the government spends on airport security, customs, border patrol, where all of this technology is moving towards, you know, scanning you when you get out of your car in the parking lot and understanding who you are and doing background checks and things. Where think of the amount of money the Canadian government spends on Homeland Security that technology may be able to help with. I mean, I can't even put my hand on what that number would be.
I'm going to miss those friendly people at the airport.
Yeah. They're just great.
They are. They just love their lives, those people. They're so friendly. So I think I would take a robot any day over that. So another thing, being in the industry we're in, from our perspective is, we're in the news industry as well. I was kind of reading where Pulitzer Center is actually training newsrooms, I know we've talked about this a lot, to use AI. And there's organizations right now that actually have AI generated reporters that report on news, right? So it's happening right now, but I think you had some sort of experience around that as well, didn't you?
Yeah, we had a family friend who had a story written with quotes that were not him.
Crazy.
And we went back and we realized it was an AI generated story that was boosted, but someone was making money off of ad clicks, right? So it's interesting. And I think that that's another part of where the Google SEO comes in, right? Is Google's trying to stop that. Because at some point that hurts our search engines when it's like either fake or misinformation or things that weren't said that were quoted. And, they're making money off of Google ads.
Well, I think that's the big thing. I think people are scared that they're going to get stuff that's not real, right? So the flip side is, I think as a human, I can write junk as well. It doesn't have to be a machine that writes it. And I for me, if I read something I'm interested in it, I actually don't care if a human or an AI wrote it. Like I don't. This is I always say sample size of Rob. So for me, if I see something I'm interested in, if I'm a sports guy and I'm reading an article about wherever, or if it's I don't care, whatever, foodie, and I just like the article, I like the article.
Right. So, and most of the time you probably don't even know.
Exactly.
And I think it's to the point where it starts to take up someone's personal, quotes or what they said and they didn't say it, and now you're monetizing off of it.
Yeah, that's for sure. But interesting. TikTok is also planning to use right now AI influencers for marketing. So they're actually creating AI influencers, and they're going to use them as marketing. So you're going to we're not going to be here next time because we're just going to have our avatars
clones.
Whatever they are, clones. They're going to be doing this. So just going to be Jason by himself. Just clicking switchboard or wherever he does. And but I think that's crazy that it's getting to that level. And to take it further, we're going to introduce, I don't know if anyone's ever heard of, I'm going to pronounce her name wrong, but it's Aitana. She's a 25-year-old, pink-haired Spanish AI model. So this is what you're looking at right now, is an actual AI model that was generated by a team. She has 308,000 Instagram followers, 11,000 Twitter. I still call it
completely fake.
Call it Twitter. Completely fake. And she earns $15,000 a month.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy that you think back 3 years ago, TikTok was so hungry for digital creators.
Yes.
Is this the future of a digital creator?
It might be. I mean, because TikTok's moving that direction. Sports Illustrated has reporters that are AI generated. This is a model. She's doing $15,000 a month promoting brands. Isn't it crazy?
It's nuts. And again, they're $15,000 a month for for what she's doing, think
Yes.
of what a human would cost.
Correct.
Like it's still got to be more cost effective.
100%. So I can't wait. They're gonna have probably a virtual marriage. She'll meet a boy. She'll they'll get divorced. So.
Yeah, got to get her more
But
popular.
it's and if you look at her Instagram, they got her in all these different poses, and I mean obviously they made her perfect.
Yeah,
because they can do whatever they want to make it look like that. But she's too young for me, Cale. But she's
I'm getting married to a non-AI real human.
This is like what was the movie Ex Machina, or do you remember? You ever
No.
watch that? Oh yeah, like he's got a whole different thing where humans falls in love with an AI, and it's a little crazy. But it's gonna get there. I don't know where that's gonna get to, but it's going to get there. So
It used to be
people
movies.
with young kids, DJJ there. People are you worried about coming into the world of AI?
It's a frightening thing to imagine what your kids are going to be going through. That's for sure.
Yeah. So it's crazy.
And it's crazy because I bet you there's people that follow her that think she's real.
100%.
You know, like
did we just burst the bubble? Some poor
Yeah.
kid is like,
hey, listen,
I'm in love
she's
with
fake.
her.
I will say this: I'd rather my daughters date an AI boyfriend.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
That's
all the dads out there
They're
are like,
yes. All you have to do is delete. Okay, they're broken up. They're
well, what
done.
happens when those types of people get onto dating apps and stuff and just throw the algorithm off and it's
And
like
it's
you're
going to
swiping
happen.
the fake people? It's
100%.
probably already happened.
So my question to you, Cale, is how could you create one of those for us?
I don't know. About that. We'll see. It'll be like branded and everything.
Yeah.
We'll bring them to the podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I think that wraps up for today. Anything else you wanted to cover for today? So I think that I said next time we won't be here. It's going to be AI models. We're just this is our first and only show we're
Rob's
going to
gonna have long hair.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually have hair without a shine on it. But I just ask that please share, comment, whatever's on your mind, yell at us, tell us we're idiots, whatever you want. We really want feedback and you kind of shape the shows going on. This is our first pancake, as I say. So we will be having guests and talking about other things as we go on. And we're excited to be back next time. So I would like to say cue the band, but next time we're going to cue the band.
Yeah.
But for now, I don't know if Jason has any music or Perfect. That's our band right now. It's our
We'll work on
budget.
that.
I don't know what that is. It sounds like a little triangle. I don't know what it is. But yeah, that was our low budget band that we did. So.
I believe it's called a Glockenspiel.
Okay, our Glockenspiel band.
We'll get some AI music in here.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll chat with you next time.